Before we start off, what are the rules? What do we need to remember when it comes to DM? The questions are going to have certain conditions, right? Applying those conditions, and of course, ethical and other stuff, and whatever we feel is going to be a sensible decision, we need to take one, right? The conditions have to be met. We need to remember that the conditions need to be met. What else? We need to understand what role we are going to be playing while making that decision, and we need to take that into consideration while making it, right? So that's important as well. So the conditions over here are going to be in the question. The conditions are going to be there in the case as well, right? The case as well. So we need to remember these two and then choose the correct option. Yeah. Okay. So what do we have here? Slightly longer case, right? A college campus with a population of around 2,000, of whom 200 were children, 1,200 between 15 and 45 years, and 500 people between 45 and 65, and around 100 are more than 65 years of age. So you have population across all age groups. This is in a college campus, right? With 2,000 people over there. Okay. The campus has two big gates opening out to the city. Yeah. Two big gates which are opening out to the city. There are 400 cars and 500 motorbikes inside the campus. Is it like a big campus or a small campus? So reasonably big campus over here with a lot of students, correct? And 2,000 students and two big gates opening up to the campus, a lot of cars and motorbikes which are there inside the campus. Do you need 400 cars and 500 motorbikes for 2,000 people? But it looks like quite huge, quite a bit, no? Yeah, with 200 being children, and then like 100 being like 6 5 years of age, so quite a few, almost all of them tend to own a vehicle or they have access to a vehicle. The residents relied on these vehicles to visit the city located 10 kilometers away. So where's the campus? It's quite far away from the city, right? They need to use these vehicles to get to the city. Now with land within the campus becoming scarce, it's not readily available, the chief administrator found the growing demand for parking lot difficult to handle, right? So is struggling for parking place, right? So that's where the struggle is. So in light of that, now what has happened now? The faculty, staff, and students wanted increased parking space. In the past 6 years, the parking requirement of the campus had doubled. The requirement for parking has doubled. So there's a lot more vehicles right now. In the past 6 years, it's double the number pretty much. Okay. So now the CA found it inappropriate to construct parking lots from the students' fee, even though those with vehicles may not complain about it. So what has the chief administrator decided? I cannot use student fees for parking lot, although some of the students might be okay with it. Which students will be okay with it? Those who own vehicles, they might say, hey, you can use some of my fees for that. That's okay. But those who do not own a vehicle, they might not be okay with it. No, they won't be comfortable with this, right? So that's where the issue lies. And then what else do we know about this? Besides creating parking problems, the CA felt that these vehicles added to the pollution and made residents less responsible towards each other. The vehicles are also creating pollution. Do you think the CA is quite happy with? General disposition is pro vehicles on campus or not? As of now, looks like creating issues, right? Feels that vehicles are not good, parking problems. Then second is what? Pollution over here. Yeah. And then continues. What is the next bit over here? The risk to the children and the elderly because of overspeeding was menacing. Overspeeding is another issue on campus, right? And it's a problem for children and elderly. Therefore, the CA wanted to reduce the number of vehicles in the campus. CA decided, okay, that's it. I've got to reduce the number of vehicles over here. Many faculty members, students, and staff members, however, felt that the demand for more parking space was natural as vehicles were required to go to the market. Why are faculty members, students? No, because they all own vehicles and they feel it's justified. We need to go to the market, railway station, airport, and all of that, right? They're all located in the city. You need to understand. They also told the CA that elderly, sick, and toddlers relied only on these vehicles. They needed these. After listening to all stakeholders, who are all the stakeholders over here? All these people involved over here, to all of them, the CA wanted to solve these problems while ensuring the campus remained responsible and green. So what is the condition over here? Generally, do you think the case is going to be around decision making from the perspective of who? Responsible and green, right? Green is speaking from a perspective of what? And responsible from the perspective of overspeeding. Okay. And one more thing to be considered, one more condition. CA wanted to solve these problems. Whose problems? After listening to all the stakeholders, CA wanted to solve these problems. Which problems? The stakeholders' problems. Create more parking space. So let's start with the first question, all of you. So, which of the following actions would best satisfy all the stakeholders within the campus? Levy extra fee on students to construct additional parking lots inside the campus. Students should pay for upkeep of the campus. Doesn't make too much sense, no? On all students, that's something he said already. Yeah. Next, I'll put a question mark. It's not a hard reject. Okay. Let all vehicles be parked in a college managed space outside the campus, while two battery operated vehicles handle exigencies inside the campus. I'll put a question mark. Bring all stakeholders to the discussion table. So there's no decision being made here, right? To reduce carbon footprints, only pooled vehicles should be allowed to operate inside the campus. Okay, I'll put a tick mark here. Charge significant fee from any vehicle entering or leaving the campus. Is point 0.5 addressing parking space? Is point 0.4 addressing parking space? So how big are the battery operated vehicles? How many people can they take? What if it's 100 people at a time? What if it's a double decker bus? We don't know, right? So therefore, when you have something like this, you shouldn't start overthinking. The numbers are given over here to mislead you, right? While battery operated vehicles handle exigencies, you might have been okay. The moment they mentioned a two, you seem to be like you're trying to get picky on that particular number. The numbers you can ignore always. Ignore the numbers. Unless they've told you somewhere over there that an battery operated vehicle can take only 8 people at a time and blah, blah, blah. Nothing is given. Don't start reading on this number and get disturbed. Now the question is this. Both are speaking about additional parking lots. One is speaking about additional parking lots inside the campus and levying fees to students. Now, all the stakeholders should be satisfied. You don't want overspeeding. You don't want pollution. You don't want these. Between 1 and 2, which addresses it? Yeah. So therefore, 2 becomes the answer. That's it. Next one. Which of the following would be the best option to increase revenue, decrease carbon footprint, and still satisfy all the stakeholders in the campus? And what did I say? Questions will contain certain conditions. Now, what do they want? They want increase in revenue, and they want decrease in carbon footprint, less pollution, and all of that, and still satisfy all the stakeholders in the campus. Overspeeding to be taken care of, create more parking spaces, that and all. Okay. So all of this. Now, which one over here is going to be best addressing this issue? Make substantial collection from vehicles entering or leaving campus and construct a parking lot outside the campus. Is it taking care of these issues? Yes. Parking lot outside the campus is also being constructed. Yes. So far it looks like I can hold it with a tick. I'll hold it with a tick. Next one. Levy extra fee on the students and build extra parking lots inside the campus. Between these two, which is better? So rejected. Next. Bring all stakeholders to table and let them build consensus. Doesn't make sense. There is no decision being made here. To reduce the carbon footprint, only pooled vehicles will be permitted on campus. So all of the conditions have to be met, right? So in the question, they've specifically said, I want increase in revenue. 4 does not address it, and that's it. This is not even some major decision making. They just want you to be careful, not go fast, read the condition, and just apply it properly, and that's it, right? You have to just identify the important words from the question, from the case overall, and should be fine. Next one, let all vehicles be parked in a managed space outside the campus, while battery operated vehicles parked at the 2 gates can be used inside the campus. That's it. So the answer becomes option 1.